Hello, friends. Welcome back. For those who don't know me, I'm Kat. I'm a wife, a homeschool mom, and an avid reader. I am participating in a readathon this weekend, the 72 Hours in a Haunted House, hosted by, let's see if I can get these names right, hosted by Cassidy, Rye, Mel, and Lexi. I think it's just the four. I'll leave links below to all of their pages along with the announcement video for this readathon. The whole purpose of this readathon is to read horror and thriller books for the weekend. Each day we'll pick a wheel, one of the two wheels that we have, and stick with that wheel for the day, whether we're reading or horror or thriller books. And then on those wheels, there will be prompts for those things. It's going to be a lot of fun, and I thought I would start similar to how Cass started last year and build myself a reading fort for the weekend. Unlike Cassidy, I am not going to sleep in mine. I have a very comfortable bed. That's not in my office, and so I'm just going to build a little reading fort using my daughter's fort magic and give myself somewhere that I can enjoy for the weekend when it's time to read. Hey friends, so it is just after 7 o'clock on the first night of the 72 hours in the haunted house. So first up, I am going to spin my wheel. I'm going to start, I think I'm going to start with horror. Um, and hopefully this works out in my favor because currently we do not have internet, and so I'm going to have to hope for cosmic, um, or just wait until we get internet back to get another book. So, and again, I don't have internet, so I can't put it on the big screen, but we got the spin. Ooh, it's not even going to pick it up on there. All right. So it's sci-fi horror. I'm gonna look and see the book I have and see if it will work. We'll see. Probably not, but I'm gonna go from there. Good morning, friends. So last night we finally got the internet working about 9 o'clock. Oh, or at least got the Wi-Fi part working. And I went ahead and I started a book called Agents in Dreamland by Caitlin R. Kiernan. Um, and I listened, oh gosh, not much. He remembers when it wasn't. Oops. I listened to like 2 chapters of it. Um, it hit 10 o'clock and I was done. Uh, and once I could get internet on, we only had a couple short sprints before my body was like, if you continue listening to this audiobook, we're going to sleep. Not because the audiobook's not good, but because I was just so tired. It had been a long day at work. I knew last night that I wasn't going to get too much done as far as reading, but now I've gone completely like so Agents in Dreamland, it's a government man, secret agent, something along those lines, with the code name Signal Man, goes to this little town in Arizona to do an information trade with someone, or with a woman there, because something has happened in the last week at, what do they call it? Boom, 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 boom. So there's a ranch house near the shore of Salton Sea, where the children of the next level are gathered up, and there's this cult thing going on. I'm not too far into it. It seems like a really interesting spin on things. And there's a lot of where I'm at so far. In the beginning, we have the signalman appearing in Arizona and doing this information trade. And then the next chapter, we're introduced to this woman who, or her point of view, a woman's point of view, where she's been gathered into this cult, and like the cult leader likes to bring in those who are lost and unloved, basically. But she talks about this cult leader, like, is getting messages from the staticky channels on the TV. If you know anything about pre-digital TV, we had, used antennas sometimes in channels that weren't an actual channel, or didn't have a service tied to that channel. Sometimes would just be a static channel. And he's getting messages from those. So, I'm going to try to keep reading today. It's a 2-hour book. So I have an hour left, hour and a half. I have about an hour and a half left. And so I'm going to finish that, and then I'm not sure if I'm going to stay with the horror wheel today or switch to the thriller wheel today. We'll just kind of see how I feel when I finish this. Yeah, so I will check in with you soon. Okay, book 1 is done. I am not 100% sure what I just read. It was definitely a weird one. I am not a fan of sci-fi horror, normally, so this was definitely a ride. Aliens and stuff going back from like 1927 through to the future. It's just kind of all over the place, and there's one character who's like outside of time, and like the jumps in it were really weird. Um so yeah, that is done. Um Hopefully we're not, really seeing these weird clicky aliens that are going to steal all of our brains. But who knows? Um so with that being done, it is time for my second spin. So let's do that. All right, so I am going to do the thriller wheel today, and let's see what we get. Romantic suspense. All right. So, um, I think for this one, I will do, You Love Me, um, which is the third in the You series. Um, and we will, go from there. So, romantic suspense. You Love Me, I think is what I'll do. It's a longer one. Sorry. It's a longer one. But those ones seem to go pretty quickly. And hopefully that means that I will be able to maybe spin again, maybe not. Today's a little weird. We have schoolwork this morning, and then this evening we have our family dance. So I only have until about 4 o'clock to read, which is what, 7 hours today? So we are going to go and do what reading we can. I'll see you soon. Hello, friends. So it is now Friday night. We had a lot of fun tonight. We had a family dance at my daughter's school and the school that I work at, or our co-op. So we had a family dance, similar to like a father-daughter dance, mother-son dance. But we just did families. And it was so much fun, and it's great to see these kids together and having some good times together. Unfortunately, it was at the same time as the 72 hours in the haunted house, so I took a break from reading. I am about 125 pages in or so. And I am loving it. It's been a lot of fun so far. Joe is weird. But if you've read any of the others or watched the show, you know his kind of way of life. And the things that he does. So I have plans tonight to read some more of You Love Me. I am actually following along as I listen to the audiobook, and going from there. I think I might be able to get it done tonight, but I'm not sure. We'll have to see how tired I get, because it is 10:20. And last night, come 10 o'clock, I was falling asleep. So, we're just going to go from there. Good morning, friends. So it is Sunday morning, and no, it is Saturday morning. It is Saturday morning, so the second morning in the haunted house. I'm just kind of just getting up. I was up until after midnight reading. I am 58% of the way through You Love Me. And I'm really enjoying it. I do like these books. It's kind of one-sided romance, but that's okay. All of them are kind of like that. Sorry, I am so sleepy. I've got my coffee, so my weekend is booked. I've got my book. I've got my audiobook. So I'm just gonna start listening, and wait until everyone starts sprints. I have a feeling that they were up pretty late last night, so they were still going when I went to bed at midnight. So they were talking 9-ish. So we'll see. But yeah, that's all I got for now. So I'm going to start reading, and I'll talk with you soon. Hello, friends. So, I just lost it. I have finished You Love Me. I'm not sure what to think on this one. It was not what I was expecting. Yeah. So, it gives me a little hope that people can change. I guess you would say that. But at the same time, it reminds me of, oh, how dark our world can really be. it's not bad. I really enjoyed it. It was a wild ride. Um, and yeah, so I have finished 2 books in less than 48 hours. Um, it's almost 2 p.m. So 19 or 48 minus 9, 39 hours. Um, no, that's wrong. I can't math. 48 minus 5 is 43. So in 43 hours, I have finished 2 books. Um, and it's time to spin again. I think I'm going to go with the horror wheel today. And let me just pull it up. Doo-ba-doom. All right, let's do this. Spin. Psychological. All right. So a psychological pick. I almost wonder if I want to re-spin just so that I might get that one. But let me look and see what this one has. Okay, I have chosen a book. I had to go back and watch Mel's 72-hour kind of might be read list, so I could find one. And I am going to do Blanky by Keelan Patrick Burke. This one, from what I understood, is a man's child dies, and then the child's blanket keeps reappearing, and he's hearing cries. It's 108 pages according to Storygraph, so it's a shorter one. So maybe I can feel a little better about my reading during this 72 hours. I shouldn't feel bad because finishing 2 books in even just finishing 2 books is what's normally read for me in a week. So to finish that in a weekend is amazing. But so we're going to read it looks like 43 minutes or so left for this sprint. So I'm going to start reading and I will check in with you later. Okay, so I have finished Blanky. That book was really odd. I know it's horror, and it's a psychological horror. It's not scary so much as just odd. Um, like you're trying to figure out what's going on almost the whole time. Really fun to read, very short to read. It's about 108 pages on the scribed version. I had a great time. I am left scratching my head, but that's okay. So up next, I have to do another roll. So I'm going to get this ready. There are sprints. Okay. Yeah, sprints are going on right now. So All right, so another spin, and this time snowy setting. All right, so I'm gonna have to do a little looky-loo, and see if I can. I'll see what Mel was looking at, and see what's available via Scribd or the library or Kindle Unlimited for a snowy setting, and hopefully not too long. Okay, so I have figured out what I'm going to read. I'm going to read Voices in the Snow by Darcy Coates. I also guess I should look and see if that one's on there. There was another one called Below by Hightower. Doesn't look like it's on there. Okay, so Voices in the Snow, Darcy Coates. My sister in Arkansas really likes this one. Or really likes this author. I haven't asked her about this particular one, but she likes Darcy Coates. So I'm gonna read that one and hopefully get done with it pretty quick. It's 3 hours or 317 pages, about 5 hours to read. So hopefully I can get it done tonight. And then start fresh tomorrow. But we'll see. All right, so Voices in the Snow is the first in the Black Winter series. This one is about Claire. She remembers the cold. She remembers the abandoned cars and children's toys littered across the road. She remembers dark shapes in the snow and a terror she can't explain. And then nothing. She wakes aching and afraid in a stranger's gothic home. He tells her she was in an accident, a crash in the snow. He claims he saved her. Claire wants to leave, but a vicious snowstorm has blanketed the world in white, trapping them together. And there's nothing she can do but wait. At least the stranger seems kind, but Claire doesn't know if she can trust him. He promised they were here alone, but she sees and hears things that convince her something else is creeping in the woods, watching, waiting. Between the claustrophobic storm and the inescapable sense of being haunted, Claire is on edge. And increasingly certain of one thing. Her car crash wasn't an accident. Something is waiting for her to step outside the fragile safety of the house. Something monstrous, something unfeeling, something desperately hungry. So, I'm going to start that in the next sprint. These sprints just ended. And so, hopefully we'll get a good, decent sprint and I can get some reading done. I'll see you in a few. Good morning, friends. So it is Sunday morning. It's the last morning of the readathon. I just totally went blank. Last morning of the 24 hours in the haunted house. I am still working on Darcy Coates' Voices in the Snow. I'm about halfway through, so I'm going to go on ahead and continue reading that this morning while I eat breakfast and wait for sprints to come on for today. I'm sure that they are going to be a little bit later today just due to them staying up a lot later than I do. 10 o'clock came and my body went, nope, we're out. So, I'm going to get reading, eat some breakfast, drink some coffee, do that kind of fun stuff. And then, I'm going to be reading. So, I'll see you soon. Hello, friends. So, I have finished, Voices in the Snow. That was definitely a wild trip. I part of me really wants to start the next one, but part of me is also a little scared to do so, because of how unsettling that horror was. Um, really good. Basically, storyline is end of the world type thing. Claire gets a call from her sister saying something has gone on. She doesn't know exactly what. Um, but to come to her house, and they were gonna hide in Beth's bunker with their aunt. On the way, Claire is on the phone with her and with Beth and loses contact. And then next thing we know, Claire wakes up in a house, bandaged up and everything, and trying to figure out what's going on. It was a lot of fun. The first 200 pages or so were great, but I hit like page 200 and could not put it down. I'm kind of glad that I didn't hit that part until this morning, because I don't know that I would have gone to bed last night. Very wild ride. But it is time for another spin. So, let's do this. I am moving to the thriller wheel for today. So, isolated setting. All right. So, for an isolated setting, I'm going to have to do a little bit of research, but I will be back with my isolated setting pick. All right. So, I was kind of on the fence between No Exit and The Missing. The Missing is one where 5 people are stranded on an island, and they're trying to get their way off through like a game, almost, I guess, kind of like some of those survival type games, but with a Saw twist. So I was looking at that one, but I was also looking at No Exit, which is a little girl is kidnapped, and a woman is going to visit her mom, and she gets kind of stranded at this, a rest area stop, along with some others. But next to her next to her car, she finds this van that this little girl is, in a cage in the back of. But No Exit has an audio with it. So I'm going to do No Exit, and work on my blanket at the same time. Hopefully I can get caught up with February's and go from there. But it looked really interesting. Both look really interesting. I may read The Missing later, but it being 1:15, I think I'm only going to get one more book read for the day. So we are going to go with this and try it out. friends, so currently I am about 43% into No Exit. Um I'm listening to the audiobook and trying to follow along on my Kindle. I'm a little bit annoyed because it's a Kindle Unlimited um thing, and the audio is available because I have Kindle Unlimited. The audio and the text don't match. It started off kind of with times being a little bit different and like the percentage of her battery left, which was a little annoying, but I could deal with it. They were just tiny little things that you could ignore. And then now I'm at one part where the entire scene is different. In the audiobook, characters are missing. And in the book, like it's very different, and it threw me off. So like I listened to the audiobook, paused it, and then had to go back and read what the text had for the differences, because when they're as different as the two are, it's really hard to just go with the flow, as it were. But overall, I am enjoying this story. It reminds me a lot. I'll have to look up the title, but there was there was a story I read. It too was a thriller. That like she was a college student. There were several people who had been murdered on campus. And she goes to go home during all of this. And there's just a lot going on that reminds me of it. And I think I might know the big plot twist at the end already. I kind of saw the plot twist at 30% coming. At 30% through the book coming. So I'm enjoying it, but it seems a little predictable right now. So we're going to see how I feel as we go on. But I am a little perturbed over some inconsistencies, I guess, between the audio and the ebook. But I guess it happens. But if you're going to offer them together as a pair, let's have a match. It's not like I have one copy from the library and one from Kindle. These are both through Kindle Unlimited. So, all right, I'm going to get off my soapbox now and continue this and go from there. I'll talk to you soon. Okay, friends. I have just finished No Exit by Taylor Adams. That book was a wild ride. There was a lot of it that kind of reminded me of Riley Sager's Survive the Night. And had I not read Riley Sager's, there were some plot points that would have totally thrown me for a loop. But because I had read Survive the Night, there were things that happened that I kind of expected. And that could just be the thriller trope of this one, that those survive the night countdown type things. But the end really got me. That one is definitely a 5-star read. It's a great one for ending this 72-hour in the haunted house. It is just before 9 p.m. for me and on Sunday night, which is awesome because I started at 9 p.m. on Thursday night. So for me, it ended up being the full 72 hours, even though I ended up with the delay originally due to no internet. And not being able to get my first book until 9. So, yeah, uh, this weekend has been awesome. I finished 5 books, and it's, if I go through story graph, see, that's, let's see, February, 6 books. All right, so Voices in the Snow was 352. You Love Me was 400. Belanky was 108. Agents of Dreamland was 128. And then No Exit was 349. So adding those all up using my handy dandy calculator, because it has been a long weekend and the brain is no longer working. That is a total of 1,337 pages for 72 hours and over 5 books. I'd say the 72 hours in the haunted house was definitely a success. So, I'm going to end this here. Thanks for watching this journey. And definitely thanks to Casty, Mel, Rye, Lexi, and Kaylee for hosting this event and keeping sprints going. Even though I didn't stay up for the late night ones, they definitely helped me push through. And thank you, ladies, for setting up such a fun readathon. I will see you guys next time.